we didn't ask for our parents to input and stuff. We did not. And we thought we were doing a great thing because we were like, oh, we got it. You know what I mean? Like, we just want you to show up in the color that you're supposed to be in and just celebrate with us.
And not work, not do anything.
Yeah.
We want you to relax, enjoy yourself.
We didn't get them no details about nothing. Like, and it wasn't until we reflected afterwards that we realized we could see different pockets of our lives where we had pushed them out. You know what I mean? Without realizing it, because we were so independent and we just got it, that after we got married, we did have to intentionally bring our parents in so that they could be a part of our marriage.
Yeah. If I ever had one regret in life, that's the one, that I didn't allow my parents more, I don't want to say so, but more involvement in our wedding. See, for us, it was something like, it was a checklist. There was an objective. There's things that we got to do, things we got to pay for, blah, blah, blah. The less people I hear, the less people annoying me, the less direction I got to take from certain people, the more successful we can be at pulling this thing off.
Yep.
Point blank, period. So being so solution focused, I was blinded and didn't realize that, this was an experience for them.
Yeah.
Especially being the oldest child.
Right. The first time they've ever experienced it.
Wedding of a child that they've had. So like, that was an experience that we, I would even say immaturely took away from them, not even realizing it. And the caveat to that is, my parents raised me to be independent.
Right. Literally.
They raised me to be able to fend for myself and take care of myself and to do things, to pay for stuff and, problem solve, to get over heartbreaks and issues. And like, they raised me to be independent. And so I was doing exactly what they raised me to do. With me having to relearn, reprocess, rethink what sex was, that was like taking a part of my identity away.
Just because you may need to seek help or you may be in transition and things may not be right, that doesn't necessarily mean that your marriage is bad.
Marriage is a roller coaster ride that never ends.
From the twists of having children, to the turns of overly involved parents, or the highs of buying a new home, to the lows of unexpected lifestyle changes.
Marriage is dope, but let's be honest, fam. Marriage really be tiring.
Welcome to the Left Hand Gang podcast, hosted by Jazz and Spoon. Yo, what up? It's the Left Hand Gang.
Oh, so you trying to be me today?
I just wanted to switch it up a little bit.
But why?
Why not?
I don't know. I'm just asking a question. Why you trying to be like me?
Because I love you.
Okay, I can't argue with you.
I love you.
I love me too. I do.
So how you feeling today?
You just acting all the way like me. All the way.
Just switch it up. Why not?
I guess. But how am I feeling? I'm good. I'm a little sleepy, but
yeah,
I'm
you
good
yawned
though.
Like 3 times.
I've been yawning like crazy. I feel like one's finna pull up. But aside from that, I'm good. Been getting a lot of work done. Getting things checked off the checklist. Yeah, I still gotta go get that other thing.
The other thing?
Yeah, that other thing.
Am I supposed to know that?
Yeah. So you don't know. The yard.
Oh, I thought. Okay, I wasn't sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta get that yard. I've been procrastinating and waiting and procrastinating. So yeah, I mean, y'all, my yard is looking real bad.
Very unkept.
It's looking real bad.
Like nobody lives here.
Yeah.
Like if you drove by, you really would think like.
Like dang,
oh,
who
that
live
house,
there?
That house must be for sale.
They got evicted or something.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Yeah, we're not proud of it.
Yeah, I gotta go get that. I'm gonna get it though. I'm gonna get it. You know I am.
I don't know when.
But I'm gonna get it
because
though.
These next few days is looking real packed.
I know. And the day I do the yard, it's gonna be packed too.
Yeah, because that's 2 days work that you've been trying to put in the one.
Put in the one. But it's gonna get done though. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Yeah, I'm feeling good. I've been like taking it easy so my body has been taking it easy, and I've been like, being showing myself grace and like not trying to put a bunch of stuff on my to-do list, but my mind ain't really been,
I feel you,
resting.
it ain't been there.
Nah, it's been thinking like 10 days ahead, and like I've been trying to think about my stuff and your stuff and our stuff and Kai's stuff.
Yeah, just stuff,
yeah.
I understand.
But I'm good.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's good. So oh, I'm sorry, you're being me. My bad. Play.
So baby, what we talking about tonight?
Well, I don't know.
What's on your heart?
What are we talking about today?
Are you really asking, or are you trying to be funny?
Both.
Because you be corny and funny, and I don't be knowing. Sometimes.
You don't be knowing if I'm corny or funny or funny or corny.
I don't know if you being serious or if you trying to be corny funny.
Not at all. But nah, seriously.
I knew it.
Man, I've been doing a lot of thinking here lately, and I'm starting to notice how our relationships as a whole have been changing, be it with friends, co-workers, introducing new people into my life. Like, my circle has like multiplied into like 5 now.
Like 5 circles?
Like 5 circles.
Interesting. Okay.
And I didn't see that coming when I got married. I just kind of thought, everything was going to stay the same when we got married.
Yeah,
I'm like, yeah, they're still my friends. We still do this and blah, blah, blah. Nah, it has not been like that. Like, I knew some things were going to change, but I ain't know everything was going to change. So that's what's on my heart. What about you?
So I can definitely relate to that, because when we got married, I did think like, oh, these my people now, these gonna be my people forever. And I'm talking specifically about friendships right now. We have a unique friendship group because your friends are my friends and my friends are your friends. And I feel like that's the song. The more we stick together, the happier we'll be. Cause your friends are my friends. My friends are. Is that Miss Rachel? Or is Miss Rachel or Barney? Anyway.
I don't know.
Moving forward, I had to get that out. But my friends and your friends are literally the same people
for the most part.
Our college friends, at least. But like we do have like our circles from like my coworkers, and then you have like the friends that you went to high school with, did all of life with, elementary, middle school, high school, y'all still friends. But I thought that, at least specifically talking about our friend groups, especially for college, I thought that like I was rocking with them then, like I'm still gonna be rocking with them heavy now. And it's not even like a beef thing. It's just more so like life just happens, and you just go different directions. They went different directions. We go different directions. But what I love a lot is that for the most part, like the core of our friend group, no matter where we are in life, when we get together, it's just like
we pick up
where we left off in Lubbock. And I love that so much. And I remember us talking about that. But everybody can't go. And
right.
I didn't expect that to happen either. What about family? Did you notice?
Yeah. Well, whenever you made that comment, everybody can't go, it made me think neither can we.
You mean like with them?
Like, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? We can't go either.
That's true.
We have that connotation where everybody can't go with
right.
you. Where you going? Blah, blah, blah.
Everybody can't go with me.
Well, bruh, you can't go either.
Right.
But family, same thing. A lot of changes and dynamics. People getting older. You're getting older. People having kids, and like there are more birthday parties every year.
Yo.
Like it's so many different dynamics, and even how, especially after you get married, the dynamic and how you interact with family is just different. Because even though it's your family, on the flip side of that, you just started your own.
Right.
So it's like, how do I enmesh my family with my family?
That's real. Because, it's God first, but then your family that you started, and then it's everybody else. Because when you get married, your spouse comes before your mother and your father.
Mm-hmm.
Your spouse comes before your friendships. Like, your marriage is the covenant that you
Right.
entered into with God. And so in order for you to uphold that standard, you do have to treat people differently in
Mm-hmm.
love. That
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
that you like have to just ghost people. And I think V talked about this when we had her on. She talked about how she had a friend that, they were going through singleness together, and one of her friends was able to get blessed and got married, and their relationship changed, and she didn't really talk to sis as much.
Right.
And I even talked to Shay about this before. And Shay, she mentioned from the side of the single friend, it's like, I lost my friend and you switched up, but I'm so happy for you and I still love you.
Exactly.
But on my side, which I didn't even know that's how.
Never even thought that was a thing.
Yeah, I didn't know that's what they were thinking. But as the married friend, I'm like, I love you so much too, and I love my spouse, and my spouse comes first, and I literally live with this person. Like, I would literally do life with you. Every decision, big or small, I tell you my problems first. I tell you about my day before I tell anybody else. Like, what's going on with me before the friends out or people outside of our home do. And so it's going to cause things to change. And I think knowing that it's going to change before you get there will help you prepare for it.
Definitely.
Thankfully, I think it's been smooth for us just because God has been so gracious and we have understanding people in our lives. And I would even say, okay, bear with me because it might sound kind of hard. It might be hard to understand. But like, the people we're friends with are not only attached to us. Like, they have other people that they're close to as well. In the friend group and even outside. So it's like, it's not like, oh, when such and such stops talking to me or I don't have them as much, I just get dropped.
And I don't have anybody.
And I don't have anybody. There's at least balance in our friend group, I believe. And so I think that has helped us all to still stay meshed. Did that make sense?
Yeah, that did.
Yeah.
That did. I had something in my head. Normally, I'm not the one who forgets things.
That's what happens when you sit on this side.
I guess that's what happens when we switch. So I get all of Jasmine.
Because that is me every episode.
What was I about to say? I really don't remember. Oh, that's what it was. Like, yes, Lord, thank you for your grace and bringing it back to your boy. But when it comes to family and you get married, some of your family members who were close family have now become extended family.
Ooh. Huh. Wow.
That's a crazy thing to think about, right?
Yeah.
Like, they become extended family.
So specifically, like, maybe like the cousins you grew up with or spent a lot of time with. Is that what you're trying to say?
I mean, you could say them, or even like siblings, their kids that they have. Like, I'm an uncle, or my brother is an uncle.
Yeah.
Like, or even with grandparents.
Wow.
Like, my parents are now grandparents. Like, just so many different ways. And when you get married, we don't realize that other people naturally by default take on new roles. So like, when we have kids, my brother becomes an uncle, my mom becomes a grandma, my dad, your dad, etc. All of our parents become grands. Our grandparents become great grandparents. Our aunts and uncles become great aunts and great uncles. So they take on these new labels or new titles in addition to what they already are. And sometimes those comes with different roles. And we have, and then we have like these, now we're talking about communication between multiple generations now and different, I don't know. It's just a ugly looking spider web. That's just.
Is it ugly though?
I don't know if it's ugly, but okay, sticky maybe.
Okay.
Maybe we can go with sticky.
Complex.
Thank you. See, you are really doing a good job at being me today. I just want you to know that you're doing a great job of being me. But things really do get complex, and we don't realize that we're starting when we begin to have challenges or disagreements. We don't realize or recognize who we're talking to. we may be talking to our mom, but we're talking to our mom about being a grandmother of our son. So the dynamic of that relationship is completely different because, for instance, we've brought in a child. And our parents are now talking to their children who are grown that have children. So there's a different level of, I don't want to necessarily say respect, but there's a different perspective, I guess, that they sometimes miss in having kids that now have kids, or when you have a son who's now a husband. So, mom, I'm sorry. Normally I would do X, Y, and Z, but yeah, I gotta reserve that for the wife. Dad, I would normally be there, but I have to check and make sure that there's nothing on my wife's calendar for whatever it is that you're trying to do. So there are just so many different, I would say, unspoken rules, unspoken expectations, and just things in general that tend to come up that can cause rifts. It can cause power struggles. It can expose even dependency on certain people within certain areas. And we're just so totally unaware. We're like, yeah, we got married. Woo. We had a kid. Woo. But I didn't know that me tending to my wife and my child was going to cause resentment between myself and parents because I decided to put my child and my wife first.
Are you speaking like hypothetically?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, is there something I'm missing?
No.
Yeah, you talking about that like complex spider web was very interesting in how like roles change and there's no announcement like, hey, this is now your role. And that extended family thing, I was like, oh wow, that's kind of deep. It made me reflect on how things with our parents changed and how we had to view our relationship with our parents differently after we got married. And you brought it up because I think both of us being the oldest child, definitely, I don't know the wording, but I know that plays very heavily in our marriage and like our personalities, just who we are. I've heard that like the oldest child is usually like the go-getter and like, you know, they're not entitled. They work for theirs, but like they get stuff done and they're accustomed to achieving goals and like, you know, doing the things that they said they were going to do.
Right.
And they're used to being leaders of their siblings and just in general. And so we met in college. So you're already in a different mindset. Like we've been away from home for a few years now. We got our own place, have had our own place for a while. You know, in college, if you've gone to college, you're just living a whole separate life.
Completely.
And then we decided to bring our lives together, which was also dope. And we planned our whole wedding by ourselves with the help of a couple friends. But like we didn't ask for our parents to input and stuff. We did not. And we thought we were doing a great thing because we were like, oh, we got it. You know what I mean? Like we just want you to show up in the color that you're supposed to be in and just celebrate with us.
And not work, not do anything.
Yeah.
We want you to relax, enjoy yourself.
We didn't get them no details about nothing. Like, and it wasn't until we reflected afterwards that we realized we could see different pockets of our lives where we had pushed them out. You know what I mean? Without realizing it because we were so independent and we just got it. That after we got married, we did have to intentionally bring our parents in so that they could be a part of our marriage.
Yeah. That's like, if I ever had one regret in life, that's the one. That I didn't allow my parents more, I don't want to say so, but more involvement in our wedding. Because I didn't realize at the time that, see, for us, it was something like, it was a checklist. There was an objective. There's things that we got to do, things we got to pay for, blah, blah, blah. The less people I hear, the less people annoying me, the less direction I got to take from certain people, the more successful we can be at pulling this thing off. Point blank, period. So being so solution focused, I was blinded and didn't realize that, this was an experience for them. Especially being the oldest child.
Right. The first time they've ever experienced it.
Wedding of a child that they've had. So like that was an experience that we, you know, I would even say immaturely took away from them, not even realizing it. Mm-hmm. And the caveat to that is my parents raised me to be independent.
Right. Literally.
They raised me to be able to fend for myself and take care of myself and to do things, to pay for stuff and, you know, problem solve, to get over heartbreaks and issues. And like they raised me to be independent. And so I was doing exactly what they raised me to do. Mm-hmm. On the backside of that, I didn't realize that me doing what they raised me to do would take opportunities away from them, take experiences away from them whenever it came to my life. And so, you know, me personally, I had to do a lot of like soul searching and asking God, like, all right, God, so I know I can do this by myself. However, how can I include my parents in on this experience? And to some, it may sound like, I don't know. It may sound, I don't know if catty's the word, or it may sound like I'm forcing it, maybe. I don't know. There's a word in the dictionary somewhere, but I can't find it. But it doesn't sound like purely intended. Like I'm doing it out of the goodness of my heart, but more so out of obligation. There we go. That's what it was. But I really began to want them. I began to want them to be more included in life's decisions and things that I did, choices that I made. And in essence, I had to like let go of the independence that I had. I had to let go of doing it by myself, doing it on my own, so that way I could keep them in or invite them in or to allow them into my life.
Yeah. I couldn't figure out where you were going, so I couldn't find the dictionary word because I wasn't really sure what you were trying to say. But you got it, though.
Yeah, it took me a while to get there.
Something that I thought about, because for me, what we just talked about, you know, letting our parents in, didn't really strike me the way that it struck you. But what did strike me was when we were engaged, my relationship with my mom was beginning to turn. And so before, during college, like I would talk to my mom like a couple times out of the week, but we didn't talk every day. And a lot of the time it was text. Like if we talked on the phone, it was like 1 or 2 times a week. Like I wasn't accustomed to talking to my mom a lot. And that was normal to me. And then, you know, planning for a wedding, like I talked to her more. And I could just tell that things were changing in our lives. Like she was becoming more, I don't want to say involved because my mom was always involved, but like she was like a part of a lot of the things that I was doing, like, you know, the church events in Lubbock that I was going to, she was coming down for that, and just different ways that she was being involved in my life. And I remember a very long talk, like we were on the phone for like 3 hours. And she shared a lot of things with me that I didn't know, that she dealt with even while I was a little girl, some of which before I was born, and some of the holes in my life, or some of the holes in the stories that I thought were complete stories, got filled in. So it gave me a new outlook on my mother and brought us a lot closer. And that was so needed for my marriage. Like me going into being a wife, I needed my mom and I didn't know that I needed her. And becoming a mother myself, because of those stepping stone relationships, it really, really helped me now. Like I talk to my mom all the time now. If she doesn't call to talk to Nugget, like, or text me to check in or something, like I'm texting her, you know, within the next day or so. And I say that because I don't know if we would have had that long talk and if I would have ever gotten the answers to the things that I didn't know that I needed to know, if I wasn't getting married. And it allowed me to just have grace and to respect my mom and see my mom as a woman who used to be a wife, to see my mom as an actual mother, to see her as a human. Because we look at our parents as like, you're just my parent.
You're my mom.
You're my mom. You're my dad. Like, that's literally it. But they literally experienced emotions. Like, it took you to help me see that, like, oh my gosh, you went through that? Now as an adult, like, I can understand what that would have felt like. And so little kid me that's like, well, I didn't get to go to such and such's house, and I remember that time period sucked because of this. Imagine what they were really going through.
Right, exactly.
Once you get the full story, it's like, yo. Or you were going through this and you still were able to help me, like, be on the drill team for all 4 years of high school. Like, what? So the work that was done before our marriage really helped me now, and I'm just grateful for that development because it was necessary. It was definitely necessary.
It is. And so a lot of us, we don't realize, like, I mean, just to double down on what you said, we don't realize who our parents are beyond our parents as human beings, as people, who, as caregivers. And I was never a like spoiled kid who got mad because I didn't get X, Y, and Z, or we didn't get to go certain places, blah, blah, blah. That actually told me, okay, you recognize where your parents are, so don't ask for anything. So I was that kid. I rarely, I mean, my parents may say differently, but I don't remember a lot asking for material things.
Oh yeah.
Because I knew at that point in time,
I filled in the blank with no already.
No. And the reason why it was no was because most of the time they didn't have it or they couldn't. And so me taking that mindset from childhood to high school to college and even to a grown man, where I'm, reprocessing a lot of that in college, I never asked them for anything. It was rare. Yeah. Like, unless I needed it, unless I really needed it, I didn't ask for anything. Same. Because I had muscle memory of they ain't got it.
Yeah.
And so so to think all the way up until it's time to get married, I still have the mindset my parents ain't got it. And I want them to enjoy themselves and have a good time. So all of that is really the support system or the foundation, in a sense, of my independence. It pushed me to be independent because I don't want to feel like I have to depend on them, because either A, they don't have it, or B, I don't want to be a burden to them. I don't want the things that I want to put any more pressure on them than what they already have. So, and I know for a fact we're not the only ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know for a fact we're not the only ones out here that's really trying to get it or to be independent or whatever. But the revelation that I got was we cannot take away the experiences from them because we may feel like it's an inconvenience, or we feel like they don't have it, or if we feel like we got to be independent because that's how they raised us,
or be a burden. Because I know that comes up for me.
Oh yeah, a lot. You're not alone,
especially when it comes to childcare.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Even though it's their grandchild, like, it's just like can't go out too many weeks.
Not too many.
Like, yeah. The last thing I want to say is the other relationship that I noticed that changed for me is really, really realizing the difference between your family and my family when it comes to holidays.
Yeah.
And how you growing up with your parents together, when you go celebrate Thanksgiving or whatever, okay, maybe everyone goes to your grandma's house, or maybe you just do it at your mom and dad's house, but like everybody is in that same place, or it's like one or two or three places that they would be.
Yeah.
Whereas my side, like I have my mother's side and then I have my dad's side because they're not together. And then we have us. And now that I have a child, I'm like, okay, well, where do we go to celebrate, you know, and it actually brings a little bit of anxiety for me. And so that's something I'm working through, is like creating what that looks like for us moving forward for our children, and just modeling what it means to stay together, and, you know, raising our son, or now son, but prayerfully, if God gives us other children,
right.
Raising our children, you know, in one household, and, you know, creating our own traditions and holiday traditions specifically, and them having a place that they know that they can go to for the holidays, instead of like, you know, or I gotta go to 3 or 4 different places because I have to, you know, like
But
choosing between that can be very stressful. And so that's the only thing that's coming up for me.
Yeah.
Our child is losing it.
Oh,
you
yeah.
You hear him?
Yeah, I hear him. Because I think he hear us in here recording.
He do. And he like, y'all know, y'all
hear
know.
me.
Y'all know I'm up. So we, I feel like we kind of touched on all of the different relationships that have changed, at least on my end. Anything else on your heart that you want to share?
I see what you did there.
What?
Nah, I think that's a good place to land. We could definitely.
Oh, that's what I should have said. I think we could land there.
Yeah, that's a good place to
Stop
land.
the car there.
No, I think land is better.
Oh, okay.
I think land is a little more, you know, it flows a little better.
Okay.
But
Park.
yeah, park. Yeah. It's a good place to park. Yeah, definitely. There were some other things we could definitely get into, but I think that is the place.
I think so too. Well, if all hearts and minds are clear, we just thank y'all for real. Again, for your support. We still have some hoodies left. We're sold out of a couple sizes though.
We are.
And we're not doing any
no
restocks. So get yours now. And is there anything else that we need to share?
Oh yeah, there is an opportunity for you guys who would like to but to partner with us. To partner with us, or to just, you know, bless us. You can hit the link down in the description, be it YouTube or Apple, whatever platform you're watching or listening on. There's a place for you to, you know, support and partner with us. So hit that, you know, do your thing, thizzle, help us out a little bit.
Pay for some of these subscriptions. That helps us keep recording and posting it for you guys to hear it and see it.
Yeah, and we can fly people out here.
Hey, in Jesus' name. It's coming. Well, we thank y'all. We love y'all. And be easy.
Peace. Thank y'all so much for tapping in with the Left Hand Gang podcast.
Be sure to follow, like, subscribe, and rate us.
And lastly, please don't forget to check out our website. That's lefthandgang.co for merch and ways to stay connected.
Catch you next episode.
Gang.